welcome back to another reformer class. Today we're going to be focusing on mostly upper body, moving through some more classical movements that maybe you haven't done in a little while. So let's get straight into it. I am just going to take off one medium spring, so a blue spring on my reformer. So just take off one medium spring and then you can take a lay down on your back, settle in nice and heavy to the carriage, just grabbing hold of the back of those shoulder blocks. Take your feet to the outer corners of the foot bar. And just rock your knees over to the right side. And then up and over to the left. One more either way. Now guys, as always, you take your breaks throughout the class if and when you need them. Don't wait for me to cue breaks. And if you see me stop to explain something, I like to talk with my hands. You just keep moving, okay? And I'll jump back in with you when I can. I'm excited to teach an upper body focus class. I feel like everything's been really leg heavy lately. Okay, we're going to bring the legs back through center. Feet will come onto the foot bar. Heels are about hip distance apart. Flex your feet, place your arms just down by your side, and then we're going to take a big exhale, press through the heels, open the carriage all the way. Take an inhale breath, return it home. We're going to exhale, press. Inhale, draw in, making sure those feet stay nice and flexed. Your toes are actively pointing up towards the ceiling. And just notice where the back of your shoulder blades, the back of your hips are heavy on the carriage. Getting a feel for the springs. Nice. Just starting our warm up here with a little bit of footwork, a little bit of core work, a bit of bridging. We're going to add a halfway rep. So we're going to press out all the way and hold. Come into halfway, hold there, press all the way back out, then draw that carriage closed. So we're going for 1.5 reps now. Draw the carriage into halfway, exhale, press again. Then drawing all the way home. Going to go for 6 more just like this. And then we're going to work just in that top half range. In 4, keeping those feet flexed. In 3, should start to feel nice and warm by now. In 2. On this last one, take a big exhale breath, meet me all the way out, legs are nice and straight. We're working just at that top half range now. So come into halfway, we exhale, press back out. Into halfway, and press for 6. 5, we're going to pulse it halfway in 4, tiny little pulses. 3, 2, last one, come into halfway, hold, tiny little pulses, pressing through your heels for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, press all the way out, walk your feet up and down that foot bar, just give your feet a nice little massage there. Then we're going to come all the way home. Create a little bit of space between those shoulder blocks and your shoulders, and then we're going to float those legs up to tabletop. Arms are going to come up over your shoulders here, and then we're just going to start with a leg extension. So we're going to exhale, extend that right leg long over the foot bar. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, extend the left leg. Inhale, draw it in. Just starting to alternate one leg and then the other to start with. I want you to notice here what your belly is up to. So just actively drawing those abdominal muscles in and around like you're wearing a nice tight corset. We don't want to be arching through the lower back or doming through the belly at all here. Nice. I'm going to start to add on an opposite arm lower in 4. In 3. Pointing those toes. Think about length rather than height. Last 2. Take this last leg extension, meet me back in tabletop. This time we're going to extend the left leg, draw the right arm down to the carriage. And we lift, exhale. Draw everything back into center. Straight to the other side, we exhale, extend and sweep. A little bit of coordination for your Monday afternoon. Well, it's Monday afternoon for me. So we're going to go for 6 more like this. Gosh, the opposite arm really wants to come with. In 4, we swap to double arm, double leg, just for the last 4. In 3, In 2, keep that belly drawn in. Look towards that belly button when you curl up. Last one, meeting back through center. This time, we draw both arms down, both legs long. Ready? Inhale here. On your exhale, we curl, extend and lower. Nice, we're gonna go for 3, 2. Last one, can you lift, hold? Coming all the way back into tabletop. Now you're gonna place those toes onto the foot bar. Arms are just gonna come back down by your side. We're gonna keep those heels up nice and high. We're gonna go to our second round of footwork, pressing through the balls of the feet now. So you've probably heard this cue a million times in your Pilates journey, but like you're wearing a pair of high heels, that's how we want your feet to be positioned here. So trying to actively keep those heels nice and high the whole time, even when you're pressed all the way out. But trying not to lock out through the knees when you reach the top of your range. In 4, we're going to add on a calf raise, lowering those heels under the foot bar. In 3. In 2. On this next one, press out, hold. We're going to lower both heels under the foot bar. Nice intentional lower. Exhale, lift. We come all the way home. So we press, hold, lower, and lift. Nice. So we want that lower and lift to be nice and intentional, nice and controlled, rather than a bounce through the ankles. So slow it down a little bit. Notice that these same springs might feel a little bit heavier now that you're on your toes rather than your heels. And you might be feeling heat a little bit more through your calves and your ankles here rather than your quads. Go for 3. You're going to meet me pressed out in those calf raises in 2. Beautiful. Last one. We're going to press out, hold, just lowering and lifting those heels for 4. Nice and slow. Lift up high all the way. 3, 2. Last one. We're going to lift, hold. Keep those heels up nice and high. Come into halfway, hold there. Just that same movement. Lower and lift for 4. 3. We're going to press all the way out. In 2. Last one. Press all the way out. Slowly coming home. You're going to keep those toes on the foot bar. Just rock your knees side to side if you need to. And then once again, we're going to create that space between the shoulder blocks and our shoulders. Nice and wide through the shoulders here. Palms are going to press down in the carriage. We're going to set up for a very short round of bridging to finish our warm-up. So we're going to take an inhale breath here. On your exhale, you're going to tuck that tailbone under. Slowly start to roll all the way up. Pausing for a moment at the top. You're going to exhale, roll down. So we've got nice and supportive springs here. I want you to think about drawing your knees over the top of the foot bar, more so than lifting your hip bones up nice and high. You want to avoid that arch in the lower back. A little bit more challenging on the toes than it is on the heels or the arches of the feet. Not going to be here for too long. We're going to add a leg extension in 2. Nice. On this next one, can you lift and hold? Extend that right leg long. Point those toes to the ceiling. Place them back down on the foot bar. Exhale, roll down. Next time you come up, it's that left leg. So we're going to exhale, roll up. Extend that left leg long. Check and see that you're not dipping down through that left side. We want to keep both of those hips steady and even. Place the foot down. We exhale, roll down. So sometimes when we extend through one side, we tend to dip through that hip or rotate towards that side. I want you to really take notice of what your hips are doing. Imagine you've got one of those, you know, those spirit levels across your hip bones, that little bubbles in the center to tell you that it's even. Nice. On this next one, we're going to keep the leg extended as we roll all the way down. Exhale, roll up and hold. Extend that right leg long. Point your toes. Exhale, roll all the way down. That leg stays lifted. Once your glutes meet the bottom of the carriage, then you replace the foot back on the foot bar. We go again on the left side. Exhale, roll up, hold. Extend the leg long. Keep it extended as you roll all the way down. Once your tailbone, your glutes hit the carriage, then you replace the foot. One more either side. Exhale, roll down. Last one on this left side. Exhale, roll all the way down. We're going to come up for our final bridge, a little round of pulses to finish us off here. Big exhale, roll all the way up, hold at the top. If you want a little more, you're taking those arms up and over your shoulders. We're going to pulse the hips down an inch, up an inch for 6, 5, keep that carriage steady. 4, draw those knees over the foot bar. 3, 2, last one. Slowly roll all the way down. Give those knees a big squeeze into your chest, or maybe take them out wide, whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to come all the way up. Have a little breather. I should have brought my water with me. And then we're going to change our springs. So I'm going to pop on that one medium spring, that blue spring on my reformer, and then take the rest of them off. So we're working just with one blue spring for most of our class, actually. Once you've done that, you've got your blue spring on, we're going to come into a low kneeling position up against those shoulder blocks. Now, on my reformer, I have my right side closest to the foot bar. My left side is closest to the straps and the shoulder blocks. So with my left hand, I'm going to grab that long loop, but I'm actually going to take the loop into both of my hands. And instead of holding the loop, I'm going to hold over the top of the strap. So I've got closed fists over the top of the straps and my palms are facing towards me. I'm going to draw my shoulders away from my ears. Take an inhale breath, as someone walking past in the studio. Take an inhale breath, grow a little bit taller through the crown of your head. And then on the exhale, we're going to sweep the arms up in a diagonal. Inhale, we come back down. Eye gaze is going to follow the hands. We exhale, sweep up. Inhale, down. Now the resistance on the springs makes it quite hard to resist the rotation that wants to happen in the body. I want you to really focus on keeping those shoulders and those hip bones pointing towards you rather than rotating with the resistance. Go for 3. We're going to layer on. Now always, these layers are optional. You can always stay with the base layer if that feels enough for your workout. If you're ready to layer on, you're coming with me. On this next sweep, we're going to come up to a high kneel. We're going to exhale, lift, sweep. Eye gaze still following those hands. Inhale, we come back down. Really squeezing those glutes when you lift so that you don't topple forward. We exhale, squeeze, lift. Think about that same movement we did in our bridging in our warm-up. Nice, in 2, we add our final layer. Short and sweet this class. It's going to be effective. Coming up for your last one, we're going to add on a little pulse at the top. Bend, extend. Come all the way down. I almost went to say squeeze, like what are we squeezing? Exhale, sweep. Bend the elbows, draw the strap towards your face. Exhale, press. Come back down. 2 more, then we're going to stay in that top range press. Bend the strap towards your face. Exhale, press away. Coming up for this last one, I'm going to meet you at the top there. Just those little bend and extends for 4, 3, 2, last one. Slowly draw your arms all the way back down. Ooh, it's a burner for the shoulders. Okay, we are going to spin to face the back of the carriage, one of my favorite movements. So if you've done any type of classical Pilates, you'll be familiar with this movement. Maybe this is the first time doing it. That's fine. Not going to be too many layers here, but it might feel a little bit uncomfortable. So lean into it. Just know that it's one of those movements that we don't often get into, and it is a little bit uncomfortable. So it's called saw. You're going to come seated towards the back of your carriage. Legs are going to be nice and long outside the shoulder block. So you're making a V shape with your legs pointing. Your toes helps to keep them nice and active. Now my right hand is going to take hold of that left strap, and I'm going to hold up nice and close to the top. So I've got that little knot on my straps here. I'm going to hold that. I want the tension to feel like it's pulling me over my thighs. So the tension on the strap is pulling me over my thighs. My left arm is extended back behind me, and my eye gaze is looking at my left fingers. From here, I'm going to exhale, draw back with my right arm, take my left arm forward. Then I'm going to inhale, fold back, release that right arm, take that left arm back. I'm going to exhale, draw with the right, bring that left arm forward. Inhale, back down. So every time you come back down and you fold over your thighs, you might notice that your range is a little greater. The body's getting familiar with the movement. You're loosening up through those hamstrings. You will feel this mostly through the back of your legs. No extra layers with this one. I really just want to focus on the form and the movement itself. It is enough. Really, really getting into that nice fold. My hamstrings are quite tight, so you might notice that you can actually get a little bit closer towards your thighs than I can, which is amazing. We're going to go for 3, and we're going to hold and just row. In 2. Nice. On this last one, as we come up and draw that left arm forward, row that right arm back, we're going to hold there. Keep that left arm nice and long. Eye gaze looks at these left fingers. We're just going to row through that right arm. Exhale, row back. 4. 3. 2. Take your last row. Slowly release all the way forward. Now that left strap's going to come into the left hand. Grab that short loop. And then your right hand is going to grab that right loop there. You're going to shimmy a little bit closer to the shoulder block so that you've got some room behind you, because we're going to go into some rollbacks. So we're going to take an inhale breath, again, growing nice and tall. On your exhale, you're going to tuck that tailbone, roll back. About where those little dimples on your lower back meet the carriage, pause there, and then we're going to exhale, restack. So we're going to inhale, exhale, roll back. Keeping that tailbone tucked. You want that nice C curve through your belly. We restack. Now, similar movement pattern here as we had in our bridge work. So we're going to add on some leg extensions. If these rollbacks with your feet down is enough, you stay here. In 2. Guys, I'm sweating. I didn't want to turn the aircon on because it's really noisy, but like doing myself a disservice because I'm hot. We're going to come up after this last one, restack. Now, on this next roll back, we're going to draw that right leg nice and long towards the ceiling. Exhale, roll back, hold. You're going to lift that right leg, point those toes, extend to the ceiling exactly the same way you did with your bridges. Take the foot back down to the headrest. We restack. Next time, it's the left leg. Roll back, hold. Extend that left leg nice and long. Place it back on the headrest. We restack. You want to keep those arms nice and long. I see a lot when I teach this in studio, people bend their elbows and draw the straps towards them. You want to have nice long arms here. Use those straps, the tension on those straps as support. I'm going to go for one more on either leg. And then if it's for you, we're going to go to double leg for our last 3. So we're going to restack at the top. Take a big inhale breath. On your exhale, we're going to tuck that tailbone, hold. You're going to extend both of the legs long towards the ceiling. Hold them there. Place the feet back on the headrest. Restack. We're going for our last 4, wherever you are. So whether that's feet down, single leg, double leg. We have 4. Hold. Point those toes. Last 3. We're restacking at the top every time. Checking in, making sure that you're maintaining that nice C curl through your belly, that your tailbone is tucked. Last 2. Last 1. Can we extend those legs? Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Restack. Woo. Maybe give your knees a nice big squeeze. And then we're going to take our bums back to the edge of the carriage. Separate our legs, find that V shape. Move on to our saw on the other side. We're going to make our way back around to the front. The fun part about Pilates is you have to do everything again on the other side. So when you're ready, we're going to set up. So this time it's going to be my left hand that takes hold of the right strap. Nice and close to the top, I'm just holding onto that little knot there. And then my right arm is going to extend long back behind me. My eye gaze follows my right fingers always throughout this movement. So I'm looking back, I'm folding forward over my thighs. Take an inhale here. On the exhale, we're going to row through the left arm, draw that right arm forward. Eye gaze is still following those right fingers. Inhale, fold, we release that left arm. Exhale, we row and rotate. Inhale, we release and fold. Now you might find, if you're anything like me, you might be tighter on one side than the other. I'm noticing that it's quite a lot more difficult to fold over this way. So maybe I'm a bit tighter through my right hamstring. That is my dominant leg, so probably used to doing the work. She's tired, she's tight. I'm gonna go for 2, and we're just gonna meet in that row. You might even want to add a little pulse at the bottom range if that feels good. Little pulse. Pulse. Come up for your last one. Draw that right arm forward. We're just gonna row with that left arm. For 4. Keep the elbow nice and low and close to your waist. 3. Palm is facing in towards you. 2. Last one. Slowly release that strap forward. Place it onto its little peg. Now, excuse my back, but I'm going to turn away from you. We're going to go into our wood chopper on the other side. So I'm nice and close to the shoulder blocks, but if you wanted to increase your tension without actually changing your springs, you could just shimmy away from the shoulder blocks, because the further you are away from your shoulder blocks, the heavier it's going to feel. I've already trained today, so I'm coming nice and close to those shoulder blocks, grabbing hold of that front strap with both hands, taking an overhand grip. Eye gaze is going to follow my fingers. I'm going to take an inhale breath and sweep up on a diagonal. So we exhale, sweep, eye gaze follows. Inhale to come down. Again, trying to resist any rotation that comes with this movement. I want to try to keep those hips pointing towards you. If this is enough, you stay here. If you're wanting to take that next layer, you come with me. We're going to layer on that lift to high kneel. Use those glutes, tuck that tailbone as you come up. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. If you want a little bit more here, you can just hover off your heels rather than sitting the whole way back. In 2, we're going to add on that top range press. Nearly there. Coming up for this next one, we've got our top range press. Hold at the top. Bend your elbows, draw the strap towards your face. Exhale, press. Come down. 3 like this, and we meet in those top range presses. Elbows bend out nice and wide. Think about drawing that strap towards your nose. Keep those glutes squeezing in. That's your base of support. Coming up for your last one, we're going to meet in those top range presses. You've just got 4. Draw that strap towards your nose. Exhale, press away. 3, elbows wide. 2, tailbone stays tucked. Last one. And then we very slowly release all the way down. Whew. Nice, guys. We're going to come to face the front of our carriage, face towards the foot bar. We've got a little bit more work through the hamstrings, but through our upper body as well. We're going to work through some front rowing. So again, this might be a movement that you're not familiar with. Let's go through it together. So we're going to extend the legs nice and long, sit as far back as you can, take up as much space on the carriage. Point your toes. You're going to grab those loops behind you. Now, it is going to feel light. I recommend going on the long loops because we're going to build here. So drawing those elbows in towards your waist, we're going to point those toes. And we're going to find our offering, but as we do, we're again going to fold over our thighs. So we're going to press those arms forward as we do, round through the back, fold over the thighs. As we draw the arms in, we stack that spine nice and tall, draw the shoulders down. So we exhale, press those fingertips forward, fold over the thighs. Inhale, draw them in, restack. Keep those toes pointed. Try to avoid any bend in the knees. I just noticed my knees were bending to try to help me out a little bit. On this next one, we're going to press the arms forward, hold there. From here, we're straight arms are going to circle up and around. Back to our start position with those elbows bent by our waist. Exhale, press forward, hold, straight arms. Lift and circle around. You've just got 4 here. Restack, lift and circle, open through the chest. Last 3. Keep those legs nice and straight. Mine is shaking. Last 2. Take this last one, press those fingertips forward, hold at the bottom. Nice, slow, big circle, straight arms, straight legs. All the way back. I'm truly sweating. It's like hot reformer Pilates in here. Why did I wear pants? Okay guys, that is the bulk of your class. We're going to sit down, well, we're going to lay down for our favorite way to end the class, you're just going to add on a red or a heavy spring with your blue. So one red, one blue, or one heavy and one medium, whatever that looks like on your carriage. Once you've done that, take a lay down on your back. You're going to grab those long loops, place them over the arches of your feet, and then just extend your legs nice and long, flex your feet, pull those ropes down towards you. Feeling the stretch through the back of the legs, those hamstrings. I did a lot of work today. I know that I said it was an upper body focus class, but your legs, your hamstrings really kept us going. Now we're going to draw the soles of both feet together, bend your knees out wide. Send your heels down towards the springs for your butterfly stretch. We're going to place our hands over our ribs and just finish class with a few rounds of breath. So we're going to take an inhale breath here. As you do that, feel your ribs expand out into your hands. As you exhale, feel your ribs close down towards your hips. We're going to take an inhale breath for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. We inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Just taking these last few moments of stillness, checking in with how your body feels after class. Bringing your breath back to its normal pattern now. Holding in this stretch for as long as you need to, or taking any other stretches that your body is calling for. Whenever you're ready, you can start to bring your awareness back to the room. Take those loops off your feet, pop them on your pegs. And you are all done. Thank you so much for joining me. That one was fun. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and if there's anything else you want to see from me, let me know. And I'll see you again next time.